Are we on? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Microphone check. Lights.
Cameras.
This is swanky. This is lifestyle. This is culture. Welcome to the social center of everything culture. Culture Daily.
Okay, Serial. See, I've swapped it. The name is now Fresh and Cute. The AKA is Serial.
When does the Serial come in then?
Who is he? Nonsense. Anyway, we're still here. We're still here on Culture Daily. Lenny Lomote is dealing with the shock and awe of it. Shanti Baby is smiling, looking cutesy as always. And of course, we've got our guest in the house today. But you know that before I go talk to my guest, I go address my financial issues. My bills will be paid. And they're talking about brace yourself for a food adventure that is epic as their playlist. District 24 and Breakfast to Breakfast have you covered 24/7 this dirty December. Come with your squad and experience live cooking in the open kitchen. Experience as you enjoy the world's taste under one roof. That's District 24. For the night owls, those of you go party till they go break, who still day nightclub at 8 a.m. Ayuko, Cho, make ready. It day District 24 or Breakfast to Breakfast if you're in Osu. Just come through either District 24 in East Legon or Breakfast to Breakfast in Osu, and you will have any meal that you wish. You can have breakfast at dawn if you want it. You can have it at 11 p.m. if you want it. Everything is possible. Follow them on IG at DSTRKT_24. And of course, IG for Breakfast to Breakfast _Ghana as well. And that is the food experience that you need while you're enjoying Dirty December. But how are you going to pay for that? Well, money changes people. That's what they're saying. Play *959#. Select the game you want to play, whether it's Monday special or Sunday asida. No matter what, you go fit chop. And when you chop, maintain them cool, because the money they come your Momo direct. Nobody needs to know, nobody needs to hear of it. You just need to tala nku and enjoy your money. Take it straight to breakfast or District 24 and have a celebratory meal for your winnings. Of course, this is always with a reminder to stake responsibly, not for persons below age of 18. 590 mobile at Downsem. Don't tell everybody you are playing this, because when the winnings come, Charlie, they go come for some of the money. The same way I chop plenty money. So that one they be normal. But look at me. Oh, Charlie, my hair grew small. I need to get connected. Well, the Cuts Embrace Saloon calling for vendors, trendsetters, etc. Don't miss out on the hottest event of the season, Ghana Lifestyle Fair 2023, hosted by the Cuts Embrace Saloon at Legon City Mall. Well, from Monday 18th to Friday 22nd of December, whole week-long event will be transforming style with various teams of talented barbers and braiders. Whether you're looking for a sleek new haircut or intricate braids, in fact, Lenny is the haircut, intricate braids is Shanti Baby. The turn heads, we've got the skills and expertise to make your styles of dreams, your dream styles come to a reality. Plus, we'll be here 24 hours. So it's all week, 24 hours with freebies such as beer, hair bands, loads of entertainment for an unforgettable experience. All you have to do is call 0594 011 704. 0594 011 704 to be a part of this experience as a vendor or service provider. Walk in with grand style. It's the Cuts and Braids Saloon bringing you that wonderful lifestyle fair. Hello, ladies.
Talking about experiences to enjoy and be part of. First of all, let me just mention that
very midnight.
It seems like Cyril cannot get Lenny's name out of his mouth. Do you wonder why? Because I'm also wondering, like, why can't you get my name out of your mouth, Cyril?
Well, I'm about to do that heavy in my mouth.
Why?
I'm about to do that hot.
Every day,
Lenny,
Lenny,
hot in my mouth?
Lenny.
If it's hot in my mouth, I'll get it out. It's not hot.
It's not hot.
It's
Okay.
cool. It's
No
chilling.
wahala.
It's chilling in my mouth.
No wahala.
2 bedrooms.
Yo, I
fully air
hear.
conditioned.
I hear you,
Living
sir.
in your head rent
Anyway,
free.
rent free, eh? Okay.
I'm even paying for the rent for hair.
Anyway, we are in December season. At 3 Music, we are championing a Bunting season. And so you're going to see us at all of, or most of the events that are happening this December. You may call it Dead December, but like I said, here at 3 Music, we call it a Bunting season. Talking about a Bunting season, Promised Land will be happening, Promised Land 2023. Last year was one for the books, and this year as well is the rebirth edition, and it's happening on the 26th of December. The 5-star general himself, King Promise, is going to give you an experience like never before. Join us at La Palm Royal Beach Hotel on the 26th of December for a night of surprises. The tickets are going for a cool 300 cedi standard and 500 cedi VIP. To get your tickets, dial star 725 star 9080 hash star 725 star 9080 hash, or get your tickets at iamkingpromise.com. This is sponsored by EcoBank, Fanta, and Hisense. Official media partners: 3 Music TV, YFM Guide Radio, Plaza FM, Breeze FM, MX24, Quiddy Sheldon Studios, Nkonkonsa, Ameya Debra, GH Kweku, GH Hyper, Zion Felix, GhanaMusic.com, Kobe Che, Ronnie is everywhere. Remember, the events I'm talking about is Promised Land 2023. See you there. Now, we had a BNO with us earlier in the show on Unpacking. If you missed it, they are going to be launching their BioLab 8 this evening, and so you may just want to pass by and have the experience. But also, when it comes to BNO, you get to discover a world of innovation, a world of luxury, and a world many of us can dream about owning. Discover the world of Bang & Olufsen, a particularly true brand in the ever-evolving realm of high-end electronics you might love to own. Locate Bang & Olufsen at their showroom right here in Accra, Ghana, Atlantic Towers, Liberation Road, Airport City, where each passing day, month, and year, a variety of jewel-worthy new electronic gadgets ranging from exquisite home theaters, speakers, headphones, television sets, and sound bars are released, and that is one of which is going to be released this evening. Shanti, let's go.
Yes, of course. If we're going to events, we obviously have to look good. And Lenny and Serial have commented my lovely top today.
Looks good.
And it's from none other than LC Waikiki. Ladies and gentlemen, fashion enthusiasts and trendsetters, brace yourselves for a wardrobe revolution. This message is brought to you by the fashion destination that believes in the mantra, everybody deserves to dress well. LC Waikiki is not just a brand, it's a commitment to bringing affordable fashion to every family worldwide, and now they've set their stylish footprint in Ghana. LC Waikiki is your one-stop destination for fashion-forward finds for every member of the family. Whether you're looking for the latest trends, comfortable casuals, or chic outfits, LC Waikiki has got you covered. Step into a world where fashion meets affordability, where style knows no bounds, and where your entire family can express themselves through their clothing choices without breaking the bank, of course. Don't miss out on the fashion extravaganza happening at LC Waikiki, because everyone deserves to dress well. Visit them today at the Achimota Retail Centre, Accra Mall, or Junction Mall. So once you've got your drip and your look sorted, of course, you've got to pass through some more events, just as Lenny said, and we have for you Manifestivities. Are you ready for the ultimate Dirty December experience? On December 17th, Manifestivities is back with a bang at the Untamed Empire on the Spintex Road. This year, we're celebrating 5 decades of hip-hop music and culture. On the main stage, witness performances by Asaka Boys, Ladipo, La Mem Gang, Show Dem Camp, A-Reese, and of course, yours truly, Manifest, and many more surprises. But that's not all. The Hennessy Gen next stage will feature the best talented young rappers, dancers, DJs, and so much more. Plus a hip-hop art exhibition dubbed The Culture Beats, Rhymes and Representation. And of course, an exclusive Absa Lounge for VIP guests and an area filled with mouth-watering food and drinks to fuel the vibes of the night. Don't miss out on this unforgettable night. Manifestivities 2023 happening live and direct on December 17th at Untamed, time 3 p.m. Get your tickets now for 250 Ghana cedis regular and 550 for VIP at www.manifestivities.art, or dial *365 *88 *32 hash and follow the prompts. For table packages, please call 055 941 6230, 055 941 6230. Manifestivities is sponsored by Hennessy, Absa and partners 3FM, TV3, City FM, City TV, 3 Music, and of course Pulse Ghana and AIR Tickets. Manifestivities 2023, celebrating 50 years of hip-hop. Come dressed fresh to impress in your hip-hop best. And finally, we have Party on the Field. Join us for an unforgettable experience at the official launch of Party on the Field, the biggest Amapiano and Afrobeats festival this December, where the rich and mighty will display their wealth and grandeur. Dress to impress in your finest attire and capture the perfect photo to show off your style as we end the year on a high note. Friday, 15th December 2023, and the venue is, of course, Front Back Accra. Sponsors include and official partners include Skanking 3, Music Network, and Front Back Accra. You don't want to miss this. This event is strictly by invitation only.
All right, bills paid, money in the bank. Speaking about money in the bank today, I guess I know him very well. Like money, but also he likes hard work. He likes innovation, he likes creativity, he likes watches. And today on our big convo, we're going to be exploring the world of passion and the world of business, where the journey begins, where you plant this, where you sow the first seed, where your plant grows, how you nurture it, and how it becomes a business, from a dream to a business, an entrepreneur's journey. And of course, a homegrown entrepreneur that has seen multiple levels of success, and today is gracing our wonderful studio here to tell us all about it and bring us up to speed on what time it is. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce the man, the CEO of Caveman Watches, Anthony Dzamefe. Akwaba, welcome to Big Conversation on Culture Daily.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Man, I love the studio here.
Oh, Charlie, if we had 10 CDs
I love the studio.
for every time somebody said we love the studio here,
Would have been
we'd have another
billionaires by
studio.
now.
We'd have another studio
Put a
somewhere.
box here somewhere. If somebody compliments the
That's
studio,
a really
Very good.
good
Put some money.
idea.
Well, you see, entrepreneur, I told you you like money.
That's a really
I
good
told you the guy
idea.
like
put a box
money.
here.
Lenny will oversee the box.
Call it a compliment box.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Overseen by Lenny, please.
I'll
add
do
that.
the accounting of
You
the
say?
box.
I'll
do
provide the
accounting
account
of the
number
box.
for you.
And I want a commission.
Hey.
How about you for tell me
What's
for
your
back?
percentage, please?
No, we'll discuss that later.
Okay. But it's a really good idea.
So the account name is Cyril.
Hey,
What? Anyway, Charlie Anthony, welcome to Culture Daily's Big Conversation.
thank you, bro.
Mori, as we say.
Yeah, Charlie, daybreak again.
How has your 2023 been? Before we get into business, let me ask about a human being.
Yeah.
How has your 23 been?
It's been okay. I mean, it not being normal is normal. Let me put it that way.
The upside down, inside out.
yeah,
The way I'm
it's
like
normal. So yeah, it's been good, honestly.
Okay, so and the December vibes. How are you feeling Christmas?
You know, you only feel Christmas when the Hamatan hits you, you know, apart from the Hamatan and
Still
the
waiting.
traffic. And the traffic, you don't really know what's happening. I think Christmas is kind of fading by the year, you know. We don't hear the Christmas carols
You know what's
anymore.
happening? We are
It's the
growing
age,
by
yeah.
the year.
But what do you think? Do you think the kids are enjoying it like we used
I
to?
think
they
so.
enjoy and pass.
You sure? Eh?
Yeah,
They
it's
enjoy
the
pass.
year, just as Cyril said. 'Cause
For us, it's just the traffic that we see. We know it's
Yeah.
Christmas.
and the
bills.
Hamatan.
And
And
the
the Hamatan.
Hamatan.
You're
Yeah.
worried about your nose and your pocket
Charlie.
and your fuel.
Yeah.
You're not chopping Christmas. You're chopping
Charlie.
life.
It's crazy, man.
Charlie, tell us how a science student ended up wanting to chart this desert path of entrepreneurship, and with nothing else but personal accessories, specifically watches, timepieces.
Yeah.
Tell us the Anthony Dzamefe story.
Well, I mean, talking about being a science student, this is where I think we got a lot of things wrong. From junior high, when you're about to select your courses in the secondary school, we never really got enough guidance. You know, it was a very narrow mentality. If you read science, you become a doctor. If you read general arts, you become an actor. If you read visual arts, you
Stereotypes.
become that kind of thing. So the education was not very deep. We all just somehow selected courses based on what we. Or I had my
was
party.
trending,
My party they
what
go
was-
do science.
Yeah.
Oh, let me also do science. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So for some reason, I think the teachers were influencing my parents that their kid was smart, so they should let him go and read science.
Because only
smart.
people go to science.
By
Get
fire,
it.
by force.
Yeah, that's
it's
the
rather
problem.
unfortunate.
And
That's the
Arts
problem.
3 is full of all the people who are not smart.
No,
Yeah, the
but
stubborn
that's not the
people.
case.
Yeah, so we got a lot of things wrong from the very beginning, but I ended up doing science, and I kept failing very nicely at chemistry.
Phenomenally.
Oh.
Yeah, I failed very well, beautifully at chemistry. I hated it. I loved the physics, the biology, the elective maths, but chemistry was not a thing. So I think while I was about to write my final exam, I started having a more open understanding to career options. And I was like, how did I end up here doing science? Because even when I was in school, I used to do the assignment for the visual art students. I could draw really well. So I was just having a very open mind about career options, and I decided I was going to switch my course after the exams. It was too late to change anything. So I just wrote the science exams right after that. I went for the NOVDEC thing, and then I switched to business. That's how I ended up in UPS reading business management and administration.
Did you feel at home doing that course? Did you feel comfortable that, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be? They are now telling me it's not about potassium chloride, and they are now telling me things I really care about.
Yeah. When I started reading business, I could relate a lot more. I think if the science we were reading was not so theoretical, if there was a bit practical, maybe I would have enjoyed it. But we were doing chemistry, mixing things here and there, just based off imagination. You don't know what you're doing. You haven't actually seen this before. You're just reading it. And I think I'm quite a practical person, so the theory aspect wasn't really working for me. But reading business, I could really relate. I felt at home. Yeah.
You had two choices: reading business. You could have become a business executive, a marketing consultant, head of something by now. What you still went to choose the most stubborn route, which is the wilderness of entrepreneurship,
the jungle.
The jungle.
Yeah.
What provoked that?
The truth is, I didn't choose it. I think it found me somehow.
Let's go.
I didn't choose it. I ended up working for a hotel after my dad passed in 2012. Then the hotel work was not really working out, and I just resigned. One day I resigned. My mom was like, "Do you have another job?" And I said, "No, I don't have a job, but I have a plan." Well, it was not much of a plan anyways. I just knew that I was working in the hotel, making very little money. Aside the money, my self-confidence was taking a very good beating in the hotel.
Hospitality, the humility has to be on 1,000%.
There was a lot of things that were not going well for me, which were all based on my own stubbornness anyways. I kept breaking every rule in the hotel, and I kept getting into trouble every now and then. I was in the office initially as a marketing officer, and then they kind of like moved me to the airport where I go and hold a placard with the hotel name on it.
Concierge.
Yeah. I was there for some time, but I would always run away from my post. I'll come back to work and they'll be like, "Charlie, they are looking for you. You are in trouble." It kept happening. Then my boss was like, "You keep claiming that you were at the airport, but when the guests arrive, they report that they can't find you there. So let's make you more noticeable at the airport." So they gave me the waiter's uniform. And I had to put that on so people could identify me easily.
Now job.
But I still kept running away from the airport. Then my boss
Where do you run to in a waiter's uniform?
Well, I take it off. It's kind of like just a vest you put on, right?
Lenny, so when he entered, what did I say?
Charlie,
when he entered, what was the first thing I called him?
Stubborn Academy.
Wow.
This
I
one,
take it
the president.
I take it off, and then I'm just gone, Then my boss was like, "Okay, this is not working. Now let's give him a hat." So they give me a really long hat.
Like the chef's hat.
Like the chef hat. So I had a hat and my vest, and I'll go to the airport. They'll send my food from the hotel in a takeaway pack. I have to find where cars are parked to squat and eat. It was not a very pleasant place, but I was able to do it for a year. One day I just said, what? I need to move from here. I had plans, I had dreams, and being here for this number of years, there was no indication that I was going to achieve my goals. So the earlier I moved, the better. That's what I figured, and I just left. I believed I was very multi-talented, and all I needed was time on my hands. Like, no pun intended. Time on my hands. So I just resigned, stayed home playing video games. I would wake up, go and stand outside watching everybody go to work, and I'm like, did I make a mistake? How could
Where did I miss it?
Yeah, how come everybody just wakes up and they're going to work and I'm the only person at home? Like, it was a very lonely period, a very scary period. I was scared to death. But yeah, that was when I had time on my hands and started attempting different kind of businesses, and they were all failing very beautifully.
So the watches was not the first.
No, it wasn't.
Which businesses did you dabble?
That's what me.
Which businesses did you dabble in? Because I think that this is the plight of most young Ghanaians now. Because then we think that entrepreneurship is the way to go. People hardly want to do a 9-to-5 or even work for somebody, right? They want to get into entrepreneurship, but also don't have the grit to stick to one thing they've decided to do, or even stick to the course when one business fails, right? So just if you run us through the businesses that you tried your hands on before discovering or before adding Caveman.
So I remember even while I was working in the hotel, like the final days in the hotel, I encountered these boys on the street. They were just playing the guitar and singing and just walking, and I called them. I said, Charlie, you guys are doing great. How about we do some business? So what I did practically was just to, I got them performing for people on their birthdays, right? So when I see Cyril's birthday coming up on Facebook, I go onto his page, his profile, and I look for his friends.
Okay.
I get into the friends' DMs, and I'm telling them that, guys, look, I have a very great idea. Something we can do for Cyril on his birthday. He will love it totally. All we have to do is get his name or anything personal to him. I have these guys who would compose music with this information, and then we just pop up and mob or just surprise him at work. That was very different from a typical birthday gift. So people were buying into it. I had these guys performing for people on their birthdays, make very little money. But I think they were more interested in blowing up than doing the business of music, right? And they started showing up late and messing up people's birthday plans, all that, and it wasn't working. Then I remember that there was a time I wanted to get them suited up, and this guy said, they knew a place they could buy a suit for 50 cedis. And I'm like, hey, a whole suit for 50 cedis? How is that possible? Yeah. So I gave them money. They went to buy this nice suit jacket. And when I saw it, I said, hey, Charlie, that's you the bill, 50 Ghana, show me the place. And then they took me there. So I ended up buying these suits and selling them myself. I just prep them properly, get them in a bag, and I started surviving off selling suits when the music thing also failed. Apart from the suits, it didn't really go very well because I didn't have enough money to stock up on inventory. And suits are size relative, so somebody comes in and what you have doesn't fit him, he leaves.
Business,
So it was very difficult to get that going. And I tried, when I was working in the hotel, I watched how people would come and shoot a commercial for the hotel and get paid quite some good money. And when I watched the commercials, I'm like, this is so basic in terms of the concept and everything. I can do better than this, So I tried setting up some kind of TV commercial business thing. I didn't have any equipment. I partnered with a guy who had the cameras and all that. So I come up with the concept. I have some friends who will do the marketing, come to your company, and then we'll just shoot it for you for free. Like if you like it and you want to play, then you can pay us. And that also didn't work because the cameras were not mine. Every time we had to shoot, the guy is shooting a wedding. So I'm here, I'm there. Nothing was going well. Then one day, I wanted to buy a wristwatch for the first time in my life, 2015. Mind you, I never liked watches. I was not a fan of watches. 2015, I wanted to buy a wristwatch. Got into a shop. I had 50 cedis on me. The guy said the watch was 150 cedis. And I'm like, common wristwatch, why is it that expensive?
Suit cries.
Yes, he said 50. Why is the watch? I can even tell the time on my phone, right? And I left, I called somebody from social media who was selling watches on his page, and I bought the watch for 50 cedis. I just took a picture of it, put a picture on my WhatsApp DP. We didn't have the status at the time. Somebody saw the picture and just showed interest. Said, are you selling the watch? And I said, yeah. Then he came, bought the watch. I made some good profit. That was just the light bulb moment for me. I was like, wait, maybe I could turn this into a business. I just made some profit without breaking a sweat. What if I sold 2? What if I sold 3?
2,000.
What if I sold 4? I had this wave of excitement. I took my pen and paper, started walking up and down my room, writing things down.
Energy come.
Then I called the supplier, the guy who brought me the watch, and I bought 2 more. I sold the 2, I bought 3 more, sold the 3, bought 4. Then I started selling watches. 2015.
Nice. Well, talking about birthdays, I believe it was actually your birthday just a couple of days ago.
Yes, Tuesday.
So happy belated birthday
Thank
to
you
you
very
first and
much.
foremost.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'd like to talk about passion versus purpose. So you talk about the fact that you kind of stumbled across the idea of making watches now it has become Caveman.
Yeah.
Many people believe that the greatest business ideas are born out of a necessity, and some also believe follow your passion. But what happens when your passion doesn't pay, right? So where do you stand with that? Because being someone who stumbled across such a great idea, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, there's a very good relationship between passion and profit. There are three things I like to align to find fulfillment. Now, bear in mind that people can define fulfillment however they choose to. It's not one cup fits all. What you would find as success, somebody just finds it like just warming up, and vice versa. So I think people have to define what success means to them. Okay. There are three things I like to align here: performance, passion, and profit. Okay. For most people, they might not find the fulfillment they're looking for until they synchronize all these three elements. For example, I meet a lot of people who are driving big cars and looking great, like you think they're making money. They are very good at their jobs. They're always there doing the best. But then they have passion missing. They would always tell, I don't like my job. I want to leave.
And you're like,
Yeah, and you wouldn't get it, right? So those people have aligned two of their P's, but not the third one, okay? And there are people who have aligned other ones, like they are passionate about their job, they do it really well, but the money
The
is
profit
not
is
coming.
not coming.
Right. They also have two P's aligned, but not the third one. And there are some people who get the money coming in, they're passionate about their job, or maybe they are just lazy people. Performance is down. So there's a bit of chaos going all around until you're able to synchronize all your three. And for some reasons, I think I have managed to do that for myself, where I'm crazy passionate about my work. There was a time, I would literally sleep with a watch in my hand because I was
Dedication.
I was gazing into the movement before falling asleep. When I wake up, it's the first thing I pick, and I continue just looking at it. That's how passionate I got into watches, and then the performance came automatically. I did nothing but just stay indoors, breaking watches, fixing watches, and then it was paying off. So I can consider myself being lucky to have all these three elements aligned. So that's what I think people should consider when they think about fulfillment. But like I said, it's different for everybody.
In everything coming together for you, the performance, the passion, and the profit, what would you say is that thing that helped you break into Ghana's market? Because now I believe that when we mention Caveman watches, a large number of people know it now than did before.
Yeah.
Before, just to prefix Lenny's, how did you go from fixing the watches in your room, falling asleep to it, to realizing that it's become a business? When did you decide that, okay, let me make this a business, make my own brands, blah, 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 before breaking into the market? Yeah,
so I'm a very curious person, okay? I'm a very curious and daring and resilient person. When I was just selling watches just to survive, there was no bigger picture to that. I was just a hustler, how to just, get money to buy my gobe and pass somewhere. But the curiosity set in when I realized that all the watches I was selling were all imported. So the question just came to mind that, wait, where are the African brands? All this, I was reading a lot about watch brands and I hadn't stumbled upon any African one. But then again, I knew a lot of veteran watch repairers who were teaching me how to fix watches. People have been fixing watches for like 40 years and all that.
Do they still exist? Because I haven't seen some in a very... Because back in time, they were there a lot. Now I believe that the guys just put their watches away and buy another one.
The guy I go to and Rambaleshi who does straps and
old
man, his hand is steadier than G-Wagon.
I haven't seen one in a while.
So I'm there thinking like, all these guys know watches inside out. The only thing left is a little curiosity, like a little adventure, a little push. That's what I was thinking. And that curiosity, I think I had excess of it. So after learning how to fix watches, even before then, when I was selling watches, I realized that there were other people who sold watches, but they sold watches and other things. Okay, People sold watches and perfumes and shoes and bags and belts, cufflinks and everything. But there wasn't anybody who was known for just watches, right? Just watches. So I like to term it like finding a gap in the market and building my own market in the gap. So I realized, okay, I was going to carve that niche for myself to become the guy known for nothing but watches. And it's difficult to do that because every now and then you meet people who want to buy perfumes and you know where to get the perfumes and make money off it. But that discipline and the focus to know what you're building and not blur it for the sake of money is what kept me going. So I would refuse to sell a perfume, even though I knew how to sell it and make the money, and I needed the money. I would rather direct you to a friend who sells perfumes, you know, so that I could be known for just watches. And I kept doing that. Even the friends I direct people to, they don't understand. They're like, but Tony, you actually showed me the wholesale place. Why didn't you sell it yourself? Like, nope, I know what I'm doing.
I sell watches.
Yeah, I sell watches, you know. I kept doing that, and then apart from watches, I moved into time-telling devices in general.
Okay.
So I would sell hourglasses, wall clocks, Da Vinci clocks, sundials, compasses. So I was literally building a time industry that never existed in Ghana, a horology industry. So I stayed true to that, and I realized that people who had very expensive watches, and when they come into the country and they have a fault to their watch, they would rather wait and go back wherever to fix it because there was no corporate watch repairer to handle that. I'm like, okay, I'll serve that market too. So I approached the watch repairers, I apprenticed for them to learn how to fix watches. Then I became that guy who would come to your office in my gloves and my kit bag and fix your watches for you. I started getting very high profile recommendations and high profile watches, fixing Rolexes and APs and Hublots and all that. So it was one thing adding. So I realized I could fix watches, I could use like 10 sport watches, take their components out and form another movement, right?
Wow.
So it was everything coming together bit by bit. Then I realized that, okay, one great part about watches is the leather strap. So I took leather straps, started breaking them down. I went to Kantamanto, found one guy that I apprenticed for. I would break the strap apart and show him all the parts of it. That, what is this thing? Where can I find some? He would show me. What is this other thing? What does it do? He would show me. So he helped me actually buy all my tools and my components. Then I started my first table in my room and started making watch leather straps and fixing watches. A small table in my room. That was my first workbench. And I remember my mom would come and watch me, you know, in all the leather dust and all that. I'm like, why are you doing this yourself? Won't you find somebody to do it? Because I was in uni, you know. Can't be doing your degree and then be a shoemaker on the side. But that's how everything came together. And I moved from selling watches, and then the curiosity led to the first question I had. How would it feel to meet somebody wearing a watch brand that is mine? It was just a thought. And for me, when I'm curious, when I have a thought, I get restless. It's like a curse. I can't sleep. When I'm curious, I can't sleep. I have to push until I find the answers. So that's what led to what we have today.
There's a general thought, well, it's knowledge, it's open knowledge that Ghanaians widely do not appreciate or patronize goods or things that are actually produced in the country. There's a long-standing notion that things that are from abroad are somehow of better quality. What have been the challenges convincing the consumer to switch from, i.e., a Rolex, a Cartier, or a Richard Mille, and jump to Caveman watches?
Okay. First thing is, knowing the problem, right? Knowing there's a problem is very important, and knowing what the problem is. So I did my research way long before I introduced my brand, and the findings were very interesting. So remember one time, a lady called me to buy a watch for the husband, and I met her at Accra Mall, the car park. I went with about 7 different watch brands, okay? I hadn't launched Caveman at the time, but I had a product. So I put all these watch brands in front of her, the Rolexes and all the others, the Omegas, the Cartiers, and I put Caveman in there. She moves across all of these watches, then she stopped at Caveman, picked the watch up, and she was like, it's a very nice watch, very nice packaging, looks really great. What brand is this? And I said, it's a new brand about to hit the market, but it's very good. She said, yeah, I can tell. She paid for the watch. After paying for it, then I told her that it was my brand. And she was like, wow, you've done so well. Oh, it looks really great too. But can I see the other ones again?
Oh man, you did joke.
No.
Yeah, you know, that was a very solid experiment.
Yeah.
And it's
Eye opener.
yeah, and it shows you that it was not about the quality of the product. Because if it was the quality, it had passed that. She
Yeah.
had picked it.
It's a perception.
It's a perception thing, because now she's looking at me like, oh, okay. Yeah. You
Oh,
know,
Charlie, you make her weak self.
Yeah, because that will easily deflate you.
me self are there.
Yeah, like
so knowing the depth you have to come from is key, right? When you know you have extra work to do to impress. And I didn't joke with that at all. I had extra work to do, meaning that I had to sacrifice more money to make more of an impression. And in that regard, quality, you can't compromise on quality. So quality and price have a very nice relationship. People keep talking about, why don't you just make the watches cheaper so everybody can buy them? But I would never compromise on quality to make cheaper watches, you know. So knowing there's a problem was the first thing. Experiencing the problem was another thing. And knowing what I had to do to overcome it. Like, if every other brand is working at a rate of 5%, maybe I had to do 70% or 100% at all times. So I was ready for it. But luckily for us, there's a new wave, okay? We are very lucky to have a new group of people and new mentality that is paying attention to Africa.
yeah.
It wasn't like that some years back. And there are people now who just wear made in Ghana stuff, you know? So we are lucky that we are operating in this era and people are willing to support us. Now, it is our duty to make sure they don't regret it.
Yeah. 100%.
It's our duty to make sure they don't regret it.
By giving quality.
Giving quality, not just the product, but the customer service. In Ghana, it's a huge issue with customer service. So when people are willing to support us, we have a lot of work to do. Because most of them would come just to try it. Like, they've heard all the bad stories, the perception is still there that made in Ghana stuff are not good. They want to give you a try. You have to make sure you get them hooked on when they give you that try for the first time.
Right. In receiving feedback from people, I like that you touched on customer service, right? It's generally said that the customer is always right, even if the customer is not right. As a business, you have to stomach whatever feedback or complaints, if any, that the customer has. What would you say first off is the most important feedback you've gotten on your journey that has helped you, that has added to you as a person and then added to the business as well?
Most important feedback. It's been a lot of feedback, but the things that actually keep me going the most is the fulfillment I get from a lot of things. Some of the things happen to be, when we keep allocating 1% of all our revenue to all these borehole courses that we're doing. We're going to villages and drilling boreholes there. Seeing these people having clean water and then they are playing drums and dancing just because, look, the water we drink every day, like we take for granted and just drink. People are throwing festivals and celebrating having clean water for the first time. It tops everything for me, and seeing the workers come to work and, I'm always just watching them, how they're working very hard. And I have this responsibility to make sure they don't regret it. Like, I'm always itching to make the workers feel very fulfilled because they're sacrificing their life for the company. So it's been a lot of feedback in that manner that keeps me going. I'm glad you mentioned the customer being right all the time. I actually think that who is right, okay?
That's why I said they say the customer is always right, even when the person is wrong.
I believe who is right.
Okay.
You don't be in a rush to accuse your employees because the customer made a report about them. You need to be patient and go into the issue to see what happened, because trust me, customers lie a lot.
I get
Let
that.
me be very blunt about it. A lot of times they'll come and make some reports about your workers. When you get into the matter, then you realize that, oh, there was a big lie somewhere. You know, so you need to give the workers, cut them some slack sometimes. But what I tell them is that even if the customer is wrong and you know it, it is not your job to make them know they are wrong. It is your job to make them satisfied with the customer service. You are not here to groom or raise people. Okay, people have been raised however they've been raised by their parents. They've developed a way of life, perception, concepts. You are not going to change that in a day. It's not your job to do that. So the person could come in with whatever attitude, horrible attitude. It is not your job to fix their attitude. It is your job to make sure they are satisfied with what they are in here to do and they live happy. Every job comes with a sacrifice. If you're a firefighter, you know that you have to sacrifice your sleep. They could call you at any time, you have to jump. So if you're here working for Caveman, I let them know what the sacrifice is. If you can endure it, fine. If you can't, maybe you need to shift, right? And the sacrifice here is that it is very painful to know you are right, but you act like you are wrong. But that's going to be your sacrifice.
It takes humility.
Yeah. So that's what your sacrifice would be. If the customer is wrong and they have a terrible attitude and they are yelling at you, do you have what it takes to keep a smile on your face even though you know that you are right? It's very difficult. So that's how we operate. We just want to make sure that you are served well. If you insult me, I'll have a smile on my face while you insult me, just to serve you well, and then just go to your house.
Let me have my peace of mind.
I've seen the wonderful commercial that we had on the screen a while back. Where was that shot?
I was shot in Dubai.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the brand has definitely penetrated. We've elevated to world standards. I want you to give us a list of some of the noteworthy people who are rocking. Mention.
Run
I
us
really
through.
don't like doing that. I don't like
But
doing
I mean,
that.
celebrities, people who would put it on their own Instagram. I'm not saying the chairman who want to mind their business. I'm talking about people we can relate to, industry people, celebs, musicians, actors.
Where do I start from? A lot. From the politicians, the ministers, to our president, who has them but doesn't wear them.
You gifted Beyonce's father a watch, didn't you?
and
Matthew
Beyonce
Knowles.
herself.
Bella
Yeah.
Mundi is also wearing your watch.
Yes, Bella
Angelique
Mundi.
Kidjo.
That's why I'm saying I don't know where to start.
Yeah,
from.
the list is long.
The list is really long. Even beyond Ghana, Don Jazzy pushing us very strongly in Nigeria. The Houston, Texas mayor.
Amazing.
A lot of
Yep,
people.
that's Bella. With the watch.
A lot of people.
Lovely.
But let me make this very clear, right? The most important people, okay, everybody is important, but one group of people that entrepreneurs shouldn't joke with at all is the ones who patronized you when you started.
Yeah.
The beginners.
The beginners. They took the biggest risk on you because you're a new brand. They're not seeing all that is happening now, okay? They had taken a lot of risk to come and purchase your product instead of a more popular one. So now when we see all these celebrities wearing the watches and all the big names in code, my definition of big names is a bit different. Like the MVPs that really pushed us from the beginning. They might not be celebrities that I'm showing on TV today, but I never take my mind off them. And I'm making phone calls to people who bought my first watches even now.
That is nice.
My last question before I pay my bills and wrap up for today is, the lady who said she wanted to see the other watches, did she buy or did she not buy?
Who was that? Which
The lady you met at the mall.
So that happened a couple of times. Sometimes they still go ahead and buy the Caveman. Majority of the time they change their mind and take another product.
They would
Just
have had
because
a
it's
limited
Ghana.
edition
Yeah, they would have had a
Yeah.
limited
edition
edition.
by now.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Sometimes take a leap of faith on people.
Yeah.
It's not always the
Bet
one
on
you
people.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, bet on
Exactly.
people because sometimes the bets pay off big.
Yeah.
Today, celebrities around the world, people are talking about Caveman,
Yeah.
and you could have had one in your closet
You
saying,
know,
All they are left with
I
is,
had-
I met him when he started and I didn't buy.
yeah, it's a way of video no Dubai. Hey, so no.
So Christmas is
Yeah.
coming. Christmas
Yeah.
is coming. And lastly, I just wanted to ask, if I wanted to surprise Lenny and Serial with a customized watch, what is the time frame now that we're 2 weeks away from Christmas?
Okay, what we do best at Caveman, what really sets us apart is the fact that we can do bespoke watches for you,
Okay.
one-of-one watches. So apart from the watches that you can just walk into the showroom and buy off the counter, I take a lot of joy in doing one-of-ones. Okay, putting your element of design, where you want this, where you want that, and typically around 7 days your watch should be ready, but there are always ways around it for us to meet more urgent requests. So yeah, just give us a call or check our website cavemanwatches.com
Okay.
or Instagram, every social media platform at Caveman Watches. Give us a call or send a message. We'll be very glad to do something special and customized for whoever.
Nice.
All right.
That's nice.
Charlie, great conversation. Before I wrap up, Pepsodent is saying that every day as we eat, tooth decay, gum disease, and foul breath are highly on the corner if you don't take care of your dental health. Now, Pepsodent Cavity Fighter is fortified with pro-fluoride and micro-calcium ingredients, sealing the tiny holes in our teeth and preventing cavities and other issues from ruining your dental health. Now, Pepsodent is endorsed by the Ghana Dental Association and comes in two variants, charcoal white and herbal toothpaste. So you can get Pepsodent anywhere in the shops near you, your neighborhood corner shop. You should get Pepsodent. If you can't, because maybe you live under a rock, 0800-200030, 0800-200030, toll free, and they'll get you connected. Pepsodent, every smile matters. Anthony, thank you so much for gracing
Thank
our humble
you.
studio
We
and giving
appreciate
us an
it.
inspirational story from failing chemistry to becoming a world-renowned brand and a brand CEO. It's not something to be taken lightly.
Thank you.
People are listening, and we are all inspired in the studio and outside and beyond. And we'll definitely be rocking Caveman watches sooner.
Very
I'll be
soon.
waiting for you to get me mine.
Yeah, no problem. I got you.
They debut you, then debut you.
Just send invoice. Charlie, listen, guys, we've been jamming with the CEO of Caveman Watches, Anthony Dzamefe. This has been Culture Daily's Big Conversation. We've been with you since 7 a.m. It's 10 on the dot, or 10:01 as we can see on our monitors. We're going off air now, but don't forget, we're staying online, bringing you every experience on our Facebook channel. Go check out the stream if you missed it. Connect with us. The channels are still live, but we are getting off now of the Big Conversation. So we're out, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good day.